The dense forest surrounding the remote campsite in the Sierra Madre Mountains of the Philippines was a place of legends. The De La Cruz family, Michael, Sarah, and their children, Jack, Emily, and Lily, had decided to try to spend the weekend reconnecting with nature. But Lily's piercing cries filled the air, adding to the already high tension. From the moment they arrived, things started to go wrong. The mosquitoes were relentless, the air was thick with humidity, and Lily had been crying almost non-stop since they pitched their tent. Michael's patience was wearing thin. "I told you this wasn't a good idea," Sarah muttered, bouncing Lily on her hip in an attempt to calm her down. Jack and Emily sat by the campfire. "This sucks," Jack said, poking at the fire with a stick. Emily nodded in agreement, looking mournfully at the untouched marshmallows. Michael ran a hand through his hair. "I get it, Sarah, but let's try to make the best of it. It'll be better tomorrow." Just as he finished speaking, Lily's cries abruptly stopped. An eerie silence fell over the campsite, broken only by the crackling of the fire. Sarah looked down at Lily, who had finally fallen asleep in her arms. "Finally," she sighed, relief washing over her. But the relief was short-lived. From somewhere deep in the forest came the unmistakable sound of a baby crying. It was faint at first, but it grew louder, more insistent, echoing through the trees. Sarah's eyes widened. "Did you hear that?" Michael was confused. "Probably just an animal." "No, that's a baby. We have to check it out. What if a baby is lost out there?" Michael hesitated, but then nodded. "All right, stay here with the kids. I'll go take a look." Sarah shook her head. "I'm not staying here while you go off into the dark. Jack, Emily, stay in the tent and look after Lily. We'll be back soon." Michael grabbed a flashlight and a hunting knife, while Sarah took a blanket. They left Jack and Emily in the safety of the tent with Lily, warning them to stay put until they returned. The forest was a labyrinth of twisted branches and undergrowth. The cries seemed to come from all directions, disorienting them. As they ventured deeper, the temperature seemed to drop, and a thick fog began to roll in, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center lay a bundle of tattered cloth. The crying had stopped, replaced by silence. Sarah approached the bundle cautiously. She pulled back the cloth to reveal a hideous creature with a twisted, demonic face and razor-sharp teeth. It let out a blood-curdling screech, leaping at Sarah with unnatural speed. Michael lunged forward, slashing at the creature with his knife. The blade sank into its flesh, but it barely flinched. It clawed at Michael, tearing through his jacket and flesh, blood spraying in all directions. Michael's screams of pain echoed through the forest, mingling with the creature's shrieks. Michael told Sarah to run, and tried to hold his ground against the demon. They turned and ran, the forest seeming to close in around them. The cries of the creature echoed through the trees. When they finally reached the tent, they found it ripped open and empty. Panic surged through them. Sarah called out for her kids. A rustling sound came from the bushes nearby. Michael turned on his flashlight, revealing Jack and Emily huddled together, their faces pale with terror. But Lily was missing. "Something was here. It tried to get us, and then Lily just vanished." Michael hugged his children tight. "We need to find her." As they prepared to search the forest again, they heard Lily's cries from deeper in the woods. Without hesitation, they ran towards the sound, their hearts pounding with fear and desperation. The cries led them further and further away from the campsite. Finally, they reached another clearing. There, on the ground, lay a bundle of tattered cloth. Sarah approached the bundle cautiously. She pulled back the cloth to reveal the hideous twisted face of the baby. It let out a blood-curdling screech and lunged at her. Sarah grabbed a large branch and swung it at the creature with all her strength, knocking it back momentarily. Suddenly, they heard a cry behind them. They turned and saw Lily, abandoned and alone, crying weakly. Sarah's heart leaped as she cried, rushing toward her daughter. Michael kept his eyes on the creature, which was already recovering. "Get Lily and get to the car," he said, trying to buy them some time. Sarah scooped up Lily, and with Jack and Emily close behind, they raced to the car. Michael was right behind them, slashing at the air to keep the creature at bay. They reached the car and piled in, Sarah fumbling with the keys. The engine roared to life just as the creature slammed into the side of the car, its claws scratching deep into the metal. Sarah floored the accelerator, the tires kicking up dirt as they sped away. The creature tried to keep up. They could hear its screams fading into the distance as they finally escaped the forest. Breathing heavily, Sarah glanced at Michael. His shirt was soaked with blood, his face pale. "Are you okay?" she asked. Michael nodded weakly. Relieved and exhausted, they drove home. But as the days turned into weeks, Lily began to behave more strangely. Her eyes, once bright and innocent, now glowed with an unsettling light. She stopped crying and stared at them with an intensity that was unnerving. At night, she would babble in a language none of them understood. Her skin grew cold, and her behavior became increasingly erratic. One afternoon, while Michael was watching her, Lily's demeanor changed. Her eyes locked onto Michael's with a malevolent glare. Without warning, she sank her tiny teeth into his hand. Michael yelped in pain and tried to pull away, but Lily's grip was unnaturally strong. Blood trickled from the bite wound as she released him, her lips curling into a sinister smile. Then she laughed, a chilling, guttural sound that sent shivers down Michael's spine. He stared at his daughter, realizing that whatever was happening to her was getting worse. Desperate, the family sought help from local shamans and healers. They traveled from village to village, consulting with anyone who might offer a solution. Each healer they visited offered a different remedy, but none seemed to work. They tried herbs, rituals, and prayers, but Lily's condition only worsened. She grew more distant, her eyes glowing brighter, her behavior more unpredictable. The family was on the brink of despair when they heard about an elder in a remote village known for his knowledge of ancient curses. The elder's hut was surrounded by talismans and protective charms. The air was thick with the scent of burning herbs. The elder listened to their story with great concern. He examined Lily, his expression growing more serious with each passing moment. "The TIYANAK has cursed your daughter," his voice heavy with the weight of his words. "It is slowly transforming her into one of its own. This is no ordinary curse. It is a bond forged in darkness and malice. The only way to save her is to perform an ancient ritual deep in the forest where the curse originated." He handed them a talisman for protection, its surface covered in intricate symbols. "You must return to the heart of the forest," he continued. "There you will find an altar. Perform the ritual at midnight and be prepared for the TIYANAK's fury. It will do everything in its power to stop you." With heavy hearts, they prepared for another journey into the heart of the darkness, determined to save Lily from the fate that awaited her. And so, the Dela Cruz family ventured back into the forest, determined to save their daughter from a fate worse than death. The forest seemed even more menacing than before, its shadows deeper and its silence more oppressive, as they prepared themselves for the battle to come.